Hello, welcome to another thoughts video. This time I'll be covering the Outbreak series. Outbreak File 1 has 5 scenarios. Outbreak File 2 has 5 scenarios. 3 showdowns, which is like a boss battle thing. 3 elimination, which is you fight a bunch of regular enemies. Like 30, 40, or whatever them are. You're supposed to walk across the areas with maps that are all like mixed up and jumbled, and trying to kill them. There's new personal items for characters, and characters from the previous one can carry over. So with just general stuff aside, now I'm gonna be just a little bit more relaxed. This is one of my favorite games of all time, and like it's like I love the classic Resident Evils, but some things that some things in them I would have liked to been improved, and this game did that for me. Like, well, talking about the amount of characters is quite difficult, especially if you're talking about porting or the hidden file 3 characters that are buried in the game. We never got a file 3 sequel, because which is unfortunate, because a lot of people want it. It was an amazing game that should have changed gaming for horror survival and co-op experiences. It came out around the time that like Halo 2 and Resident Evil 4 and maybe some other title I can't think of came out. On top of that, never saw any publicity, so it just like utterly didn't sell as well as it really should have. And I only came across it like browsing through a local GameStop, and just looking at games, and I see Resident Evil, and I'm like, whoa, what's this? Resident Evil Outbreak. Yeah. Looks pretty cool, right? So I pick it up, bring it home, fucking loved it. Like, oh my gosh. I love this fucking game. So for the characters, as you can see in the bottom left pictures, that's your main cast. And each one of those characters plays mostly the same, except for like 3 different things. Their stats are a bit different. Like for example, the little girl in the bottom middle is called Yoko. He has the lowest health of all those characters, I believe. And the big guy in the bald black guy in the top right, his name is Mark. He has the highest health. Like, probably, like, I'm not even going to go into actual statistics, because that's not stuff brought up in the game directly. But yes, but stats are different, so they have different speeds and health, and maybe fire rates with weapons. The in the second game, they introduced personal items, which I don't believe they had in the first game. I'm trying to think. Cindy, for example, which is the blonde girl on the bottom right with the bow tie. I believe in the second game she starts with a mixed gray herb, which is really awesome. It cures poisoning and gives you like max health, pretty much. And other characters have some useful items too, useful or unique items which you can't get anywhere besides them. And they also have like a special ability. Uh, I'll look at Alyssa, because she's kind of a special case to some degree. Not really. Like, Alyssa's special ability is a backstep. So you like jump backwards, which is great for moving around when you're injured, or trying to get upstairs and stuff like really quickly. She also has the ability to lockpick doors, which is really awesome. Having not only able to get through doors quicker than other characters, but some special like little lock cabinets or something which you can't even open without her. So it's really nifty how each character has at least one or more benefits to bring to the table when you were playing online. Which, but speaking of online, it yeah, it's down. I mean, like, I think all PS2 games down are dead for the online thing. And like, they turned on the servers or whatnot. But yeah, it was like I forget what year. I want to say 2007. The servers for this went down, which was an extremely sad day because the AIs in this really suck. So you might as well just play lone wolf, like seriously. Which means playing with no help, no help at all. So each of these eight characters, they have their special abilities and whatnot, and on top of that, you get a bunch of NPCs. Like I can't even tell you the exact number because between what I said earlier, but there's a lot. We'll say 60 through at least 60 through 100. That's what I want. That's what I want to say. I mean, it feels like a really lot of characters, and each one of those characters has their NPC voice, which I think is the same. Either there's one or two NPC voices, and they take off after the special abilities of these main eight characters. So like Cindy, the bottom right girl with the bow tie, she could duck, right? Well, she could duck, and so could their NPCs. Oh yeah, speaking of no, 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 never mind what I was gonna say just now. My personal favorite characters in this game are the females, particularly because I just like love playing as female characters because I just don't get enough of that game. It's always fucking male and it gets tiring. So my three favorite characters to play are Yoko, which is the Asian girl in the green jacket, Alyssa, which is the girl in the red suit, and Cindy, again the bartender. As I'd say their playstyles are defensive, like their special abilities make it even easier to stay alive. It's not that the other characters can. I mean, some of their abilities are kind of more offensive slash defenses, or kind of a mix. But I personally enjoy playing them, and I could go on about like each of the characters do. But let's see what else is there. Well, the graphics are a bit aged, at least when it comes to the sprites, because well, it's a PS2. It can only do so much, right? But some rooms do look pretty good, and this thing will always hold a special place in my heart. Every now and then, I might jump into the game, play around a little bit. Oh yeah, speaking of which, they have like ad libs, which is basic commands that the characters could say, which tells that kind of gives the AIs a general idea of what you want them to do. But the funny thing is that they, depending on who you're playing as, they might not listen. And in the first game, it has like character relationships. In the first game, you just picked a character and they were like randomly generated or generated based on who you picked. I'm not really sure. And the second game, you got to actually pick your allies, which is really cool. In any case, if Capcom ever made a Resident Evil File 3, I would, me and a good amount of other people would be ecstatic. I could tell you that. Alright, I think this video has been long enough. I just want to talk about one of my favorite games ever made, and that'll be it for this one. If no, the standard stuff. Have you ever played or heard of this game? If you did, what do you think about it? Do you prefer like the classic tank controls if you ever actually gotten to play a game with this with the crazy camera angles and stuff? Or do you prefer more of like the Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 with the behind the shoulder kind of more action-y paced gameplay? Did you get to experience the online before it shut down? And whatever else you want to say. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.